So we're going to walk down towards the camp this morning, here south of us. Good morning, everybody. God bless you. Good morning, Celine.
Good morning.
You have a look through the readings today. There's some big words come to mind, like responsibility, and also words we don't like, accountability. And this theme is going to come up a lot in the next couple of weeks for just a liturgical reason. And we're coming toward the end of the liturgical year. The water is so beautiful with all the reflection. So we have 32 or 33 Sundays in ordinary time. That means the times that are not Christmas or Easter, or the lead-up times of Advent and Lent, respectively. And so in the ordinary time, instead of a specialized portion of Jesus' mystery, we contemplate the whole of his person. So it's not about his birth and preparation, and it's not about the Paschal mystery of the death, resurrection, Pentecost, but it's about the whole of the person. And then we have about usually 33 Sundays, and now we're in the week of the 29th week, so we have 1 month. And in this month, it's like coming people in their advanced in years, you know. One of our priests says, "I'm at the boarding gate." I'm at the boarding gate. I'm ready for departure. It's wonderful to be able to have a little humor in life about things that are very serious. It gives us another perspective and helps us to relax before the reality of things. So dealing then, as we are coming to the end of the year, it's also in the Northern Hemisphere, where obviously Christianity first took root and developed, then through especially Europe, and also went into Africa, but primarily in Europe and across maybe through parts of Asia. We're in Asia right here, don't forget that. So anyway, then the Northern Hemisphere nature is going into its winter to re-emerge again in the spring. And I would say even the Jewish liturgical calendar is very much conditioned by that also. And the return of spring for the Passover, coming out of slavery, and also for the feast, the harvest feast, are very much part of the natural structure of the Jewish liturgical year. So then don't be surprised that we'll have more of these kind of words of accountability and responsibility. It's part of life as well. Somebody commits to do something for you, and you want to hear how it went, what went on, how did it go, did my horse win the race, how was the harvest. Actually, the word exam, as far as I understand, comes from harvesting the honey from the beehive. Ex eminis, from the hive. And that's not always a fun business, because you have to deal with the bees and the stinging. I think I've told you little stories about that before, since I was in charge of the beehives in our house of studies in Rome when I was studying there. Well, anyways, responsibility and accountability. It's part of nature also, how a farmer treats the ground, the animals, breeding, harvesting crops, and also the wonderful progress humanity has made in fertility of land that before was arid. And think of the reclaiming of land from the sea in the Netherlands. People turning the deserts to bloom. And so we can look at the readings also from that lens today. As Peter says, are you talking about us too when you mentioned that parable about responsibility? And I'm sure like it's come straight at him, you know. Of course. Sometimes we think about responsibility just for the people up in the very top. And they have very big responsibility. Yesterday we were talking about those great beginnings for humanity, Adam and Noah and Abraham and Moses. And Jesus. And responsibility oftentimes has excruciating pain involved in decision making and taking on responsibility. And one thought that has been in my mind a lot for the last couple of weeks since all this violence broke out in such a very dastardly way on the 7th of October is how we come to peace and how we can bring peace. And we can't really talk about it if we're not at peace in our hearts, if we're not promoting peace, if we're not also, otherwise we'd just be talking and not doing. And so each of us can really promote peace in the world. You mightn't be able to go to the Ukraine or to some areas of conflict in Africa now. Unfortunately, Ethiopia seems to be on the brink of another war. And maybe that won't get much coverage in the Western world at all. And the people will suffer the same, you know. Terrible, terrible losses. But how do people go to war? It doesn't happen just everybody's being nice to everybody for a long time and then they destroy each other. There's a whole gradual process. A gradual process. And that's where each of us comes in. That we have a role to play in the peace of our homes. And the readings today go a bit deeper. They go about the ultimate responsibility, the ultimate accountability, the ultimate identity in the first reading. Where am I aligned? Am I aligned with just personal selfish indulgence? And the opposite would be, am I aligned with doing the best good I can each day? The horizon of my life, is it to go out to just indulge my pleasures, my pride, my vanity? Or is it to do good? To look for somebody in need, to lift them up? And especially teaching little children and classmates and workmates to stop at the side of the road to help somebody with a flat tire, to take care of somebody who is sick. That marvelous experience I've often repeated when I was in the Ohio Valley. And if there was one mom not well or had a little baby or there was grief in the house, a whole group around would take care each day of doing a meal. the major meal of the day and providing for the family, and took a big burden off that person because they had enough on their shoulders at that moment. So maybe today, what could we do for the war situation that's all over the world and also here in the Holy Land? What act of kindness, what act of goodness, what act of holiness could we offer up as a prayer for peace? The closer we come to what's wanted of us, what's expected of us, what God wants of us, the gifts that He gives us to do good,
Well, today I was thinking of the song where it talks about how the Lord set us free like a little bird trapped in a snare. And when we're aware of all the blessings in our lives, we're more attentive to the needs of others, to be reaching out. So let's try to look out today for that bird that's trapped in a snare. Maybe it's a neighbor, a family member who needs special attention, special kindness. And so those little acts of love today, we can stay awake and notice when the Lord is calling us through those people in need.
Should we leave it like that for today, good people? You know, the talk is a lot about sinners there in Romans and choosing to be in relationship with holiness. Our world needs saints, people who are truly, truly transformed. And that's a grace. A huge gift. We implore that for our world today. Let's say goodbye today to you guys. God bless you.
God bless. Have a great day.